Hi, I'm Akita, and I'm going to show you how to use LunaPic, which is a paint fill bucket tool, to actually color in a PNG file. In this particular case, I am working with the Agamograph template that I have in my membership, Printables that pop. So essentially this is the Agamograph itself, and this is what you would want to actually color in. Now the reason why you want to do this specifically, at least for this use case, is to put into a mock-up. So you don't want to necessarily have this as just plain old black and white. You want to show a color version too, so that the people who are going to be looking at your stuff are going to want to buy it. So the color makes it more exciting, more enticing, and we want to excite and entice and get people really excited about what we've made. So on to LunaPic. So in this particular example here, I have the template in Canva, and I am just going to go to share in the upper right hand corner and go to download, and let's just download it as a PNG file. And I just want, in this case, page 6. So you want to choose your page numbers, hit done, and then go ahead and do download. Now LunaPic, and I have the link for it below, is, let me see, here we go. It's actually pretty handy. It's not bad. It's not my favorite way to color a PNG file, but it's pretty effective, and it's always good to have options. So I'm here in LunaPic. Here's the actual interface, and then what you want to do is go to choose file. And ignore this, I was making extra hands and so forth for the mock-ups. So here we go. Here's the actual image that I want. I'm gonna go to open, and then you'll notice that the screen changes. So up here, you'll see fill in paint bucket. You'll see pattern, which we're not really gonna mess with for right now, but I'll show you a little something with that a little bit later in case it might be of use to you. And then we have here the color and the fuzz 10%. Don't worry about the fuzz. What you're going to end up doing here, honestly, has nothing to do with that, so you're going to be fine. But what we want to pay attention to is where it says color right here. So if you click on the box and it's kind of showing what the color is, you'll see here that it reveals a color palette. So you have reds and blues and, you know, all the different lovely colors. Now, if you want to change it up, just click, and you'll notice how the hex code is changing depending on which color I'm clicking. And a hex code is basically, for those who don't know, it's simply a way that computers or images talk to each other to know what color should look like what. I'm assuming that there are millions of hex codes. That's just my personal opinion. But if you weren't trying to use any of the colors that are here in the actual color palette that's in LunaPic, you could always go to coolors.co, coolors.co, and if you click Start Generator, you can generate some color options if you like them. So if you click on any of the actual colors, you can just go ahead and hit the space bar, and it will change the actual color palette. That's certainly an option. Let's see here, and there are some pretty colors here, but I don't know if I want to dive too deeply into coolors colors. Go back. Let's see here. There is an option here where it says explore trending palettes. That's typically where I end up if you just kind of scroll down a little bit on the coolors.co website. And if you have a particular color scheme that you like, how it says up here, trending color palettes, get inspired by thousands of beautiful color schemes and make something cool. If you want to start scrolling down, you can do that and find lots of different really cool color schemes that you could use for any mock-up, including this one. Or if you kind of have an idea of what you want, there's a search bar up here at the top of colors. I'm going to be butchering that this whole time. If the creators of this website are watching this, I am so sorry. Okay, so you can do cold styles, bright styles. If you want to use turquoise, you can click on that, but it gives you options. So you click on it, go down here, and you'll see how, oh, look, we have all these turquoise color palettes that look just absolutely divine. And all you would do is just kind of hover over the color that you want and then click on it. It automatically copies to your clipboard, and then we can go back to LunaPic. So up here in LunaPic, where it has the actual option for the color, you just kind of paste it in there. Notice how the color has changed. And if you want to go with that color, now you're ready to rock and roll. So what you'll do is simply kind of take your cursor and drag it down to the image. And then you want to make certain that you're dealing with the closed portion of the image. So like right here, I'm clicking on the petal. And when you click, it colors it in. And you would simply repeat that process, and you'll see here how the colors are changing, how it's coloring in each time you click. So you just have to make certain that you're clicking inside of the space that you want to color in. Now you can hit on your keyboard Control and the plus sign to go in, to zoom in, just to make certain that you are being very careful, as I'm doing right now, to click in the right spots so you don't end up coloring something that you don't want. So just following this, coloring as I like. And honestly, if you're doing Agamograph, you might want to color first before you split the image to match up with the template. That is certainly an option too, but I typically don't mind coming in afterwards, but of course it is simply a matter of personal preference. And if you say, hey, I don't want to use that color anymore, let me go color something else, you go back up towards the top of the page in LunaPic, you click on the colors again, you might find a yellow that, I'm going to go with yellow, I kind of like that. And you just kind of repeat the process, coloring things in, making it pretty, and all that kind of good stuff. Now, a couple things I do want to show. So notice how the image is changing and the actual screen is kind of refreshing each time you click something. Let me hit Control minus just to zoom out a little bit, a couple times. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the page. You'll see here at the very, very bottom, it says More History or History. If you click on some of these images or these images down here, it'll reverse the edits. It'll take you back to wherever you were at that particular point in time. So it's almost like it's saving a screenshot each time you go ahead and switch something up. So that is certainly an option. Let's see, all the way up here, let me zoom in again, Control plus. If you wanted to, just to show you around, if you go to Pattern and you go to Clouds, for example, if you go to Pattern, go to Clouds, use the same exact process. You just click within an image, a closed image, and then voila, there are clouds. So you can, depending on what project you're working on, not just this one or whatever you're doing, you can get a little bit happy with some of the patterns. Some are more attractive than others. You'll simply go ahead and, go from there. But when you're ready to go ahead and download, you'll see up here how it says at the top, it says download now, or you can just go ahead and undo this edit, last edit if you made a mistake. That's also an option if you don't want to go all the way down here. The actual one where it says undo history all the way here at the bottom, it's typically if you really, really messed up and you want to go back a couple of clicks. But other than that, if you want to do a quick one, undo the edit, you're good to go. Download now once you're satisfied with what you have. And then I also have in this particular template that's in my membership, let's see here. I have mock-up options. So if you have the image downloaded, you're liking it, what you actually did, you could bring it on over here into Canva. And let me make sure this is actually not locked. It is. Back in Canva here. Let me unlock this. Oh. Let's see. That's what happens when you do it like that. Oh. And you might have to go ahead and adjust something or what have you. Oh, now it's grabbing that. Let's detach the image. And we'll try that again. So clicking on it, adjusting it. You can adjust the frames if you want to. Just make sure everything fits nicely and that everything is good to go. And you can adjust the different mock-up options and you're good, and it's looking great. So that is how you can use LunaPic to go ahead and just make your design more attractive. All right. Go ahead and do something cool.